This video is on writing expressions. A variable is a letter used to represent an unknown quantity. Probably the most common variable that we use is x, although you've probably also used n quite a bit, and we can use any letter really to represent a value that we don't know. An algebraic expression contains sums and or products of numbers and variables. Here are some of the terms that are most frequently used for the basic operations. For addition, we can use the word sum or plus, increased by, added to, or more than. All of those mean addition. Terms for subtraction include difference, minus, decreased by, subtracted from, and less than. All of those words indicate subtraction. The words for multiplication are product, times, multiplied by, and the word of. All of those words refer to multiplication. And for division, we can use the words quotient, divided by, and per. So make sure that you are familiar with those terms and which of the basic operations they apply to. So here's an example of how you can write an algebraic expression. If a cup of coffee costs $2.25 and a pastry costs $3.25, then the expression 2.25c plus 3.25p represents the total cost of C number of cups of coffee and P number of pastries. Here's what that means. So each cup of coffee is $2.25. If I buy C number of cups, let's say I buy 3 cups, I would multiply 3 times $2.25. But I don't know, that C is my variable because I don't know how many cups of coffee I'm buying. But I know that each cup of coffee is going to be $2.25. So the total cost for the coffee that I'm buying is $2.25 times C. Same thing for P in the pastry. A pastry is $3.25. If I'm buying P number of pastries, I multiply $3.25 times P. And then when I add those two together, that gives me the total cost of my coffee and pastry order. Let's take a look at a couple examples here. Let's write an algebraic expression for each of the following verbal expressions. The first one says 4 times the sum of a number x and 6. Notice that it's 4 times something that's being added together. Remember, sum means addition. So the first thing I want to think about is the sum of the number x and 6, but I need 4 times that whole thing, so I need to make sure that I put it in parentheses. So this is 4 times the sum of x and 6. 7 less than 2/5 of y. Remember that this word of can mean multiplication. So 2/5 of y means 2/5 times y, and I'm going to write it like that. Make sure that when you're writing this that you put the y either in line with your fraction bar or put it in the numerator up on top. Don't put it in the denominator. That means something completely different. That would mean 2 divided by 5 times y. Now, I need 7 less than that. So whatever I have here, 2/5 of y, I need 7 fewer than that. So the minus 7 is going to go on the end. So this is 7 less than 2/5 of y. Here I have the quotient of x to the 4th power and y. The word quotient means division, and there's a couple different ways I can write division. I tend to prefer fractions. So I'm going to write this as the quotient of x to the 4th power, so that's x to the 4th, divided by y. So that's one possible way to write it. The other way is to use the other division symbol that looks like this. This is also acceptable. So that's the quotient of x to the 4th power and y. When you're using the word quotient, whatever comes first is what's being divided. The second term is what's being divided by. And here's one last example. Katie makes X dollars per hour working at a local convenience store, and she makes Y dollars an hour babysitting. We need to write an expression for how much she earned if she worked 15 hours at the convenience store and babysat for 20 hours. So she's worked 15 hours at the convenience store, and every hour that she works, she makes X dollars. So the expression 15x represents how much total money Katie has made working at the convenience store. Then she babysat for 20 hours, And for every hour that she babysits, she makes Y dollars. So for every hour, she makes Y dollars. So 20Y represents how much money she made babysitting for 20 hours. So altogether, she made 15X plus 20Y dollars working. So in this video, we took a look at how to write expressions, how to turn a verbal expression into an algebraic expression, which is a very useful skill to have for Algebra 1. Make sure that you're familiar with that chart and the words in there that refer to each of the different operations.